All right, guys, you're welcome to Bubbling 247 podcast. It's another episode. Before I introduce our guest today, I just want to appreciate you for engaging us across our platforms and for sharing our content. So today I have with me a thought leader in the content marketing industry. Uh, I have Priyanka Naomi John, who is the founder and the CEO of 31 Cookies. 31 Cookies is headquartered in India, and but the organization, the agency works with clients across the world. Priyanka, it's good to have you on this podcast today.
It's nice to be here.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
What's the weather like in India this night? I believe you're 5 hours away from ahead of
Yes.
us.
Yeah.
I think 5 hours
So,
and 30 minutes, right?
right. So, the weather here, particularly in Bangalore, the city where I live, is cold. It's raining.
Wow.
But yeah,
But but but
cozy
but,
weather.
but I believe
Yeah.
you're enjoying the moment,
Yes,
right?
yes, I am.
Right.
Yeah.
I was work today.
Yeah, work was good, as usual.
I know crazy schedules when it
Yeah.
comes to agency. I know that
Yes.
client expectations. Have you been juggling that with your home responsibilities?
Yes. Yeah. It's been a while, right? Yeah.
I understand that. So yeah, before we actually dive deep into conversations around more with your agency, what you do, right? I would love to have like a bit of insight into your background, because sometimes
Okay.
you get to trace what the guest or what the person that what they're doing at the moment. You get to trace it back to maybe the childhood,
Yeah.
maybe the educational background. But
Yeah.
sometimes also there's always a disconnect. People, of course, people jump industries. So I want to have an insight into your background. How did you grow up? What's your academic background so far?
All right. So I'm an engineer, so I did my biotech engineering. But like from my school days, I always had a passion for the English language. Like
Oh,
I was always a creative person, but then I was kind of pulled into science and maths because I had an okay aptitude for science and maths.
okay.
So I thought maybe that's what I should do. But now looking back, I think I should have just followed my heart. So, yeah, but I did pick up a few things like studying engineering and doing a couple of different jobs in different industries. So
Yeah.
my first job was at a sort of not a call center, but it was like a knowledge processing kind of role where I had to work night shifts and process insurance documents for
Yeah.
these big marine companies and stuff like that. So that was like totally not related to what I studied,
To what you
but
study.
yeah,
Hey,
it was just
I want to take you back a bit.
yeah,
I actually want to understand if it is cultural thing. Where I come from, Nigeria, right?
yeah,
Before now, there's been development, different cultural shift. I would
yeah,
say, before now, because of the competitiveness, because of the buoyancy of some work. The
yeah,
parents want you to study, be a
yeah,
science student, right? They want you to
yes,
be a doctor, they want to be an engineer. Even if you want to cross to art, you had better be a lawyer. And I understand that. I understand that because maybe at that time, these are the well paid
yes,
professions, right?
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
uh, do you have that in your country too, or
yeah.
your culture?
I'm a victim. Yeah, yeah,
Wow. But it's good that you've been able to follow your heart now. And
yeah.
following your heart, has it been what has been the journey like?
Okay, so then I finally found a job in a science lab as a scientist, which was what I studied for. But then, of course, I loved the work. But then I found that it didn't match the lifestyle that I wanted for myself because I was spending so many hours in the lab and no time for my family, and it was just work, and that's not something that I wanted to do. So then I had to travel to London with my husband for a few months. And then, of course, I quit my job. before that I worked as a teacher. So I was a
Okay.
chemistry teacher. Yeah, I was a high school chemistry
Interesting.
teacher. That job I loved. I love children. So I love to
Interesting.
teach. Yeah, so I really enjoyed that job. And then I quit and I moved to London for a while. And then when I got back, no one would hire me.
But
So
why?
I, because I didn't have a teaching degree.
Oh,
So
okay. Okay.
although I had 2 years of experience teaching, but people wanted a teaching degree. And then I had an engineering degree, but then I didn't
Yeah.
have the experience to back that up. So no one would hire me. And then I felt pregnant, which was like
You
great.
felt
With my
pregnant. Unpack that word. Unpack that word. You felt pregnant.
yeah. Yeah. With my first daughter. So
Okay.
yeah, so I had to take a break. Like no one's gonna marry.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's gonna not marry. I was married, but no, no one's going to hire a pregnant lady
Yeah, I understand.
easily. So yeah,
Yeah.
so I had to take a break. And then after my daughter was born, when she was around 7 8 months, I got into this sort of depression
Oh,
because yeah, I wasn't doing anything for myself, like my creative brain, and I wanted to
to be
uh,
active.
work, yeah, to do something. So like at I was on a trip to the pediatrician's office
Wow.
with my daughter, and there I saw this little chit of paper on the doctor's office saying work from home, online job, writing, content writing. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. This was way back in 2017, 2018.
Wow.
Okay, so this was like way before remote
Before,
work. Yeah.
yes, yes. Before
So
remote
so
work was really big of a thing.
yeah, yeah. So then I found that to be really cool. So I applied for it and I got the job. And
Oh.
it wasn't much. It was very low pay. But when I got my first paycheck sitting at home with my baby
What was the feeling
with
like?
me, it was amazing. I was like, I can actually
Now you
make
can
this
make
work.
money.
Yeah, I don't have to leave my
And I
house.
believe
I
that was
don't.
the point that pushed away the depression.
Yes, yes. I was so happy.
Yeah, I understand.
All my depression melted away.
So,
Yeah,
so,
so
it was money all along. You wanted to
it
be
wasn't
active and do
money.
something.
Yeah, money was part of it. I won't lie. Like, earning money is always something
It's
that everyone
important.
should do. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
But more than that, I was using my brain. Apart from just changing diapers, I was doing something else.
which is
So
also very important.
yeah, yeah, it is. So yeah, so then my journey started. So long story short, I just kept moving. So that was an Indian client that I was working for, and then I
Yeah,
picked up a few other clients like in various different industries, like
yeah,
nothing related to what I'm doing now. But then it kind of like climbed, found some global clients, and then I
yeah.
found that work interesting, and then I narrowed down to SaaS, and then I started writing for SaaS clients, and then I loved it, so I kept going. And then one of the SaaS clients, a really big one, kind of reached out and asked if I could help them with this huge project they had for content,
Yeah,
which would mean that I would have to hire a team. And
yeah.
I was not a leader before. I was never a leader.
That was a big challenge for you.
Yeah, but then I loved the challenge, so I took it up. I said, okay, what's the worst that could happen? So then this was about 2 years ago, and then it just started. So I got a team of freelancers, and then I really enjoyed working with those freelancers. And then sometime about 9 10 months ago,
Yeah,
five of them kind of quit their jobs and joined me full time. So that was
full
like
time. Wow,
huge. Yeah, yeah. So that
that
was
was
huge.
huge.
Yeah,
That was huge.
yeah,
Yeah, I want to take you back a bit, to because you've cut the long story short, but I want to extend that story a bit, right?
all
I
right.
want to
Yeah,
because I want to understand this your journey from freelancing,
yes,
to be an agency owner. There's a
yeah,
lot to unpack in that in that stretch. If you agree
yeah,
with me, I believe there will be a lot of doubts. There will
yes,
be quite a lot of challenges. There
yes,
will be imposter syndrome,
yes,
right? Am I good
yes,
enough? Even though you're good, but there will be also challenge of pricing,
Yes.
These are very, very key things that I would actually want you to, elaborate on, because it's very important for young creatives and young
Yeah.
SaaS writers out there, or freelancers who want to,
Yeah.
niche down to SaaS world, right?
Right.
So
Right.
let's start from uh freelancing as a content writer,
Uh-huh.
now to niching down, to coming as an agency to niching down. What's the difference?
Okay. You've been freelancer to agency or to SaaS?
Freelancer as a content writer as a whole,
Right.
content writer, you write blogs, you write
Yeah.
these,
Yeah.
not only tailored to SaaS,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
what has been the difference so far, and how were you able to easily transfer your, being your transferable skills? How were you able to bring it down to SaaS, and
Okay.
how you got to flourish
Okay.
in that
All right.
space?
Yeah. So SaaS, I mean, the thing that excites me about SaaS is uh, you get to kind of be use a product and be like the number one fan of that product,
Yeah,
and kind of sell that product with conviction.
yeah,
So I mean, you have to first believe in the product, and or people, your readers would see right through it. So it is only when the writer or the content creator knows the product well, uses the product, understands the features, understands the use cases and the impact that this product has on
yeah.
its target audience, only then you'll be able to convey that in your writing.
You're writing, okay,
Yeah,
right. So that's what differentiates SaaS writing to the generic writing, right?
yeah,
So coming to agency, when you started building your agency, I mean, you got a new client that prompted you to, and that was the notch. That was
yeah,
the notch that prompted you to form a team.
yes,
But I believe the pay was good, right?
yeah.
Was
I
it?
mean, it was okay. I mean, I still feel we could go higher because my dream was to kind of create this company that can hire globally. Like, I didn't
Globally?
want to stick, yeah, I didn't want to stick to Indian clients and Indian
Yeah,
employees and freelancers. I wanted
yeah,
to offer jobs to the rest of the people in the world.
yeah,
And that's now possible, right, with all the technology that we have. And
yeah.
uh,
It is now. It is
yeah,
now,
so
and I believe that it's very important for India. I know the country. I have a lot of Indian friends, right? I have a lot of India colleagues that I've worked with too, and I've done quite a bit of research. Not even a bit, a lot of researches about the country, and based on
mhm,
my relationship with the people, with my research and all of that, I discovered that when you're looking for the most hardworking set of people,
yeah,
right, that is the country. I can imagine the level of competitiveness. Even look at the numbers, the
yeah,
you know the numbers, and how when it comes to sales, the sales guys, they are Indians, right?
yeah.
They get on call with you. They want to convert, right? They want to convert, like, no, we don't want to come back. Let's have this conversation. Let's bring this conversation home, and make a decision right away. And
Yeah,
I can that leads to there'll be a lot of competition. So for an agency like yours, or even for other businesses, you
yeah,
have to look outside, beyond your borders,
yeah.
right? You have to look beyond your border. So how were you able to scale from how were you able to from go from the first client, which Indian client, to getting global organizations as clients?
Uh, as a freelancer, because that's the shift that I made as a freelancer, not as an
Oh,
agency. So
okay,
yeah,
not as an agency. Oh, okay.
yeah.
So
So
how
as
did
a
you go about
free,
that?
yeah. So I think you first have to get good at what you do. So you have to
Yeah,
kind of take a mirror and look at yourself and see, am I really good at what I'm doing? Kind of pick at your own faults and get
yeah,
better at your craft. Because if you're planning to step into a global market and you want to charge global rates, then you
yeah.
have to produce global quality work, right?
True.
So you can't. I mean, there's only people will see right through it. If your first piece, your second piece is not up to the standards, then
It's
no
not
one
good
would want to
enough.
work. Yeah,
Yeah.
You won't want to work with you again. So
Yeah.
I think your reputation is very important, like the trust that you build with your clients, with your work.
Yeah. So how do you build? How do you now build trust? Okay, for example, for a young writer or for a young science writer who wants to, get into this space, right? Just
Yeah,
like you've pivoted, you've been able to navigate your journey from being a freelancer, getting different clients in India, then getting global roles,
right.
and that I believe speaks to your portfolio, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
for younger writers or who
Mhm.
wants to niche, or people who want to niche down to SaaS, how
Yeah.
do they go about landing that uh, global client with not huge portfolio?
Okay.
How should they pitch themselves? What are the
Okay.
ways? What are the advice? What's the advice you have for them?
Okay. So the way I'll first tell you like how I went about it, and then I'll
Yep.
tell you what I see other people doing now that's working really well, and I wish I would have done that before.
Oh, great.
So how I went about it was I pitched to agencies, like agencies that were based in the US and the UK, and kind of wrote sample pieces for them, and then they liked my work, and then I just continued working with them. So through the agency I got the chance to work with many different clients and many different companies. So that's how I gained that experience.
Yeah.
uh, because like if you pitch directly to a company in the beginning, you probably do great, but then you're kind of narrowing down your chances, because every company works differently. So if you're
Yeah.
only working with one company, you only know how that company works. But if
Yeah.
you're working with an agency, you know how different companies work. And
Yeah.
so, the learning curve is greater. You learn much more that way. So I would say
Yeah.
pitch to global agencies. That's the
Yeah.
best way. But now,
Yeah.
what I'm seeing now is people pitch guest posts, and they,
I think I've been seeing that on my
yeah.
timeline recently. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that works great too. Like if you're willing to put in the effort, even if it's not going to pay you, if you're willing to pitch, like create a proper pitch, for a guest post and nail that, I think that is way more valuable, because that instantly builds your credibility. Like if a big company has agreed to your pitch and allowed you to write a piece and published it on their blog,
Yeah.
that says a lot about your work.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot. I agree, and that's a lot of it's something to build credibility and trust,
yeah,
because when you pitch to other clients, you get to have that on your. I mean, for example, say you've guest pushed for HubSpots,
yeah,
Ahrefs, and so Semrush and some other platforms, and you want to
mm,
pitch to other platforms. It's
yeah,
They would want to take a look at your deck again,
yeah,
because these are top platforms that you have your articles have been published on. So I
yes,
believe that even the time that we are now, I believe it's so important that you knock the doors.
yeah,
You don't just sit down and
mm,
wait for them to bring the cookies,
yeah,
right? You have to go after you have to go after them and knock the doors, and you know take
yeah,
a grab out of whatever cookies you have on the board. It's very important at the moment. I agree with you on that. Now, coming to agency, you were lucky that I mean, it was easy for you to build your team because you had people working before they joined you. So you already have, like, I believe you already have like a good working relationship with them. So
yes, yeah,
before you get them engaged, like, what are the skills you look out for before you employ SaaS writers, or,
okay,
or contract commission them to get
okay.
work done for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, their writing skills. So, if they have a portfolio, if they have bylines, pieces that they can show me, even if they've been edited by
Yeah.
the blog that it is published on, that's fine. It kind of gives me a taste of what their writing is, because sometimes when I read a piece from a writer, uh, and the intro puts me off and I don't want to read further, then
Well,
yeah, that sets the whole tone
so
for the blog.
hook is important.
Yeah, yeah,
The intro.
especially yeah, the tone of writing,
Yeah.
the style of writing, how they if it's a SaaS writer, how is he or she positioning the product? Is
Yeah.
he or she doing justice to the product, and bringing out the features, the use cases that kind of matching the search intent of the blog,
Yeah.
what the reader wants to learn from that piece. So that is like the main thing, the writing skills. Second, non-negotiable is work ethics.
Yeah.
I have worked with so many freelancers. They seem great on LinkedIn, and they,
I know where I understand that.
I mean, every post is perfect, and they say the right things. But then
Yeah.
when you start working with them, uh,
The
you
kind
see
of warm,
that,
a hope of
yeah.
the kind of warm.
I mean, either the work is not that great, or
Yeah.
the deadlines are just being pushed back. But you're
Yeah.
seeing them still active on LinkedIn and still posting, you know,
Wow.
yeah,
That
doing the other stuff. So yeah,
why they
I
have
mean,
deliverables that they are not delivering at time.
yeah. So that's a major put off for me. That I mean, when you have a client, you should be serving the client first. I mean, not
Yeah.
just me. It's a philosophy that our agency has as well. You have to serve your clients first, and then think about your own, you know,
Yeah.
uh, promotional, whatever marketing. But if
Yeah.
you're not serving your clients, then what is the point?
I
So
I mean, I
yeah,
agree with you. I understand, actually, I understand that far because we are at the time now that people, people, we are at the time of embellishment.
yeah, yeah,
People project what they are not,
yeah,
and you see them on LinkedIn. You see the post, like you said, the posts are perfect. It's
yeah,
until when you engage them that's when you know that they don't actually fully have the substance that they've been projecting
yeah,
on the platform. But then visibility is money now. It is
yeah,
people that you see,
yeah.
that's who you would want to engage, because
Yes.
before you think that there's one Tomilola that exists somewhere
Yeah.
that knows his onions and good at what he does,
Yeah.
you would first engage someone that has been in your face,
Yeah.
right?
True.
And
Yes.
they
Yes.
say out of sight
Yeah.
is out of mind,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I understand that. I understand that part, and that brings me
Yeah.
to even the importance of visibility and why you need
Yes.
to show up, right?
Yeah.
I've been seeing that you're also more intentional about your personal brand
Yeah.
these days. I've read a couple of your posts,
Yeah.
I believe, but I still believe that as an agency owner, there's a lot to be done, because
Yeah.
I mean, you have the tools, you have the resources, you have everything within your purview to to do that. But what's your advice as regards personal branding for SaaS writers and
Okay. Yeah.
founders, most especially?
Yeah. I agree with you. I only started posting on LinkedIn maybe the beginning of this year, or not very long ago.
Yeah,
But then the minute I started, I saw how powerful LinkedIn is, like the connections that I got, and maybe they didn't turn into work right away, but
yeah.
I
It's a
mean
long game.
yeah, it's a long game. You have to value those relationships that you build. I mean, it shouldn't always be just about the money, just about the
Yeah,
work.
yeah,
Yeah, so you have to look, like you said, at the long game.
yeah.
So how can I help this person in the future? Or it's always going to be win-win. Like when you build a good relationship with
I mean,
a potential
we won't be
client.
having this conversation if not for the connection.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me too, for a while, for some years, I opened that platform.
Mm.
I was just a visitor, right? Because even if you look at the statistics globally,
Yeah.
based on the statistics that LinkedIn released, you'll see that it's only a few percent of the users that are creators on that platform.
Yeah.
A whole lot of people are just users, they are visitors, right?
Right.
And when I created it some years ago, I just come there, I didn't even know how to figure it out. Or maybe the embellishment of the hello, I just did this course, this one I just gathered, it's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure. It was a lot
Yeah.
of pressure at that time, but I just
Yeah.
thought so at the time I think I got an engagement with a work that throws me into that global space, and I thought, okay, this is best time for me to start pushing out
Yeah.
content. Most especially, the content was very crucial and it was globally relevant. I said, okay, let me start pushing out. And after that time, I paused. I was also still trying to figure out, of course, my own life personally too, and
Yeah.
then how best to approach it, because I kind of understand that it's a platform where you have to offer value, right? You have
Yes.
to you have to be intentional, and it's not just you wake up this morning and think, what can I post on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Okay, let me post this thing. You have to
Yeah.
have your own roadmap, right? If you
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
if you really want to, give that value that you have, and you really want to intentional on that platform. So for me, I've been intentional these days, more so that I have a podcast going. I'm growing a global storytelling platform, right? I need to, as a founder too, and the chief marketing officer, and also the host, I need to, tell my stories, and I also need to, tell the stories of the organization, because I need to wear the brand,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
as the marketer, and market it to that level. So that prompted my visibility, and it's out of necessity, right?
Yes.
And
I
for you now, as a agency worker, agency owner rather, it's also very, very crucial for you,
Yes.
if
Yes.
you
It
agree with me,
is.
because
Yeah.
you don't know the level of client, the number of clients that you might get on that platform, and the global clients. So I believe that you should be more intentional. I would
Yes.
advise
Yes.
you that you
I
should be
agree.
more intentional. I mean,
Yes.
connect with people, have
Yeah.
conversations. You're a founder. This podcast I mean, this is one of many that I'm looking forward to you having conversations on different platforms.
Yeah.
Really,
I hope.
really, yeah. So now, coming to, let's talk about agency clients relationship.
Right.
It's one relationship that I don't know how to put it, because I've been on both ends, right? It's like a cat and dog. You can be like the new bride today and be at loggerheads tomorrow, and because of different issues, I've had to pitch to brand, I've had to deliver campaign to brand, and to brand managers, and at the end of the day they tell you, "Oh, this idea now we can't go with it." How have you been able to manage your agency's relationship with your clients?
Like I've seen the biggest client that we work with, who got us started.
Yeah,
So they have been amazing. Like it's been such a learning journey with them. So I would say, I kind of owe most of my growth as an agency to them, because there's so much I learned from their team. So I
yeah,
really believe if a client decides to work with an agency, they have to pick the right agency first, and
yeah,
then they have to kind of treat that agency as a part of their team,
yeah,
because only when you have that level of trust, like you're both on the same side, so when you have that level of trust, great things can happen.
yeah.
But if that trust is not there, then it's going to be sour all the way.
Agree with you.
Yeah. So
And I believe that the trust also comes from the quality of work
yes,
that you
yes,
deliver,
yes,
right?
it does. Yeah.
Now that takes me to conversation around balancing uh, managing client expectations and giving your writers the creative freedom they need. How do you
Yes.
manage this?
Yeah, so we kind of started a process. So basically, our clients would give us briefs, and then
Yeah,
we'd get our writers to start writing, and then our editors would get on the piece and say, "No, this is not what you should have done. You should have done this," and
yeah,
then it would be a back and forth with the writer and editor. So what we kind of tried to do was fix that problem from the root up, instead of doing damage control all the
yeah,
time from above. So like not waiting for the problem to happen, right? We're trying to prevent the problem from happening. So what we did was we introduced another step in our workflow where our editors get a hold of the brief first, and then
yeah,
they go through the brief. They leave comments for the writers. They make changes to the brief wherever they see fit. Where something could be added, something could be taken out. They make all the changes. So that's the brief review stage,
yeah,
and then they pass it on to the writer. So it's like uh, you know uh, a collaborative effort with the writer and editor from the
yeah,
beginning. So that kind of improved our quality so much, and the client loved what we did, and we were able to incorporate. unique POV into the piece. The editor would be
Yeah.
guiding the writer all the time, right? So the editor has more experience than the writer. So when someone who's more experienced is kind of leading the writer to where the piece needs to be, it made the world like a world of difference.
Yeah.
So that is something that we did. And yeah, sorry, I think I lost track.
Oh, no, 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 don't worry. I think you also kind of covered. You've covered quite a number of other questions I have, because
Yeah,
one of the questions I always ask is your first approach to onboarding the new client, right?
yeah,
How
yeah,
do you what are the strategies used to onboard them, and
yeah,
how do you what are initial then the processes which you've already laid out,
yeah,
right? You've
yeah,
laid out the processes. Now let's talk about the metrics
okay,
and the return on investment. How do you
yeah,
measure this? What are the KPIs you look for? And
okay,
how do you know that the work that your deliverables impact the timeline of the client?
okay. So we have something called quarterly business review, a
Yeah,
QBR, with our clients, and so that's when they kind of give us the numbers, all that's happening in the background, right? They tell us about how many of our pieces have helped them increase conversions, how many of our pieces are ranking on Google's first page, and how many people converted and then stayed on the platform for more than 7 days, which is like a
yeah,
huge win. It means
yeah,
that we kind of served the search intent and kind of gave them what they wanted, and so things like that. It really helps us to understand the overall picture of each piece that we write, more than just focusing on writing and the grammar and
yeah.
yeah, things like that. So yeah,
Wow. Well, because money is important. For clients, it's not always only about how beautiful the articles has been put together, or even
yeah,
how beautiful the stories has been told.
yeah,
The question is, how has it impacted, my return on investment, which is
yes,
very, very important. Now let's talk about pricing.
okay,
This is the point. It's a big challenge for creators,
yeah,
right? And so is it is for also agencies,
right,
because for people we creators, for example, we don't often get our pricing right. We don't often negotiate enough for the
yeah,
value that we offer, right? For young creators or for young SaaS writers, how should they what are the approach should they go about with pricing? Because now I am playing the devil's advocate now,
yeah,
because you commission writers,
yeah,
right? So
yeah,
so from your own experience, how have you seen them negotiate with you? Have you seen them negotiate
yeah,
with you, and how do you think they should have negotiated better?
okay. So I feel, I mean, since we've already set prices with our client. So I'll tell you how we kind of work. So we've already set a price with our client, and the challenge now is to get good writers to work at a decent rate,
Yeah,
and not undercharge. I mean, underpay them, and but also maintain a healthy income for the agency so that we can keep running, because
yeah,
there are a lot of other moving parts in the agency apart from just the writing and submission to the client. So it is kind of tricky. I'm still learning on how to do it better. And like I told you in the beginning, my dream has always been to be on this global platform, working with global clients and giving
yeah.
work to people from all over the world. So that is the dream. And honestly, I would say I'm not there yet. Very
It's a
honest.
marathon. It's not a sprint.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll get there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
definitely. Like I said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's
yeah,
every day. Every day you contribute to that growth,
yeah.
and the beauty of growth is it's always in the doing and in the
Yes,
continuum, right? So talking about challenges, I believe that you have different number of clients
yeah,
on with the organization. You have portfolios that you do, accounts that you manage, um
yeah,
and you I don't know, maybe at the point where you there is need for scaling,
right.
right? So what have been the biggest maybe bottlenecks,
Okay.
in scaling, most especially high quality content for your SaaS client, and how have you been able to address these bottlenecks?
Okay. So since we're a small team, so um, I mean, we want to keep it that way. Like, we don't want to kind of grow into this huge team with 100 and 200 employees, and then start underpaying people and getting bad reviews and things like that. So I really admire people who can get to that point. But as of now, we're a very small team, and we intend to stay that way for some time till we get the hang of things and learn how to manage the agency and do a
Oh,
good job of it.
and I get
uh,
it.
yeah. So we have like five full-time people working on the team, and we have about 6 to 7 trusted freelancers that we work with. So we may not have consistent work for them every month at this
Yep.
point, but when we do have work, we know who to reach out to. So because
Oh,
we've
great.
already vetted these writers,
Oh,
so that's
oh,
how. Yeah. So we've
oh,
already worked with these
okay.
writers. Yeah.
Oh,
So
great. I mean I mean that way you have trusted hands to call on
yeah,
whenever you
yeah,
need
yeah,
their services.
yeah,
Let's talk about industry 5.0, development, artificial intelligence,
yeah.
and the noise
Yes,
of content.
yes.
How are you leveraging AI in your agency?
Okay. So so when AI first came out, I think the first time I used AI was when Jasper came out. You
Oh,
remember
yeah, I remember.
Java? It was called Jarvis, and then they
Yes,
changed it to Jasper.
Jasper.
So yeah. So then the first time I used that tool as a freelancer, I was in an agency at that time. So I was amazed, like how you could tell the machine to just write something and then it would write. It was it
A
was
game changer.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. But then as time went on, like, okay, now with ChatGPT things got easier. But then as time went on, I mean, everyone, not just me, all of us can now look at the telltale signs of AI. The sentence structures, the kind of examples, the out of world analogies that, that ChatGPT
Yeah.
gives when you're talking about something. So if you would be talking about a SaaS product and it says, if you don't work with this product, it's like rowing a boat without an oar. I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? Because yeah, it's not talking to your audience. So
Yeah.
I think AI as a tool is great. I mean, if you're not using AI, you have to start using AI to kind of know your enemy, right? And
Yeah.
use your enemy in the
Use
best
them
way
to your
possible.
advantage.
Yes, yes, you should. So stay close. I mean, they say keep your friends close and your enemies closer, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
so
I
keep
agree with
AI,
you.
yeah, keep AI really close. Keep an eye on what's happening, how people are using it, and try using it in those ways, and then see what is wrong with it. Like
Yeah.
what what sets you apart from what AI can do. I mean, there's obviously a lot that you can do, which is much more advanced than what AI can do. I don't believe that however advanced AI gets, it's going to outshine the human brain. I don't believe.
Wow,
So
wow.
yeah.
Uh, wow. Priyanka has thrown, you've thrown a big
Yeah.
oh, this is a big argument. Wow.
Yeah,
You don't believe that.
I don't
And
believe.
there have been, there have been a lot of conversation around AI robbing people of originality,
Yeah,
and then throwing up a whole lot of noise in the content world.
yeah,
And also that most content now, brand content now, they lack depth.
yeah.
They lack depth and nuances. And
Mhm.
nuance. How
Yes.
would you, what would you advise brands who fully trust these AI without doing core and in-depth writing approach to their output, without
Okay.
having the human touch to it?
Right. So it's sort of like you have this room of people, and you have some who are artists who know their craft, and some who have no clue uh,
Exactly.
about what good art is, and then you give them all the best. paintbrushes and the best painting equipment and whatever. And then what are the results? Obviously, everyone's going to be able to paint, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be able to put out something. But then what sets apart the true artist from someone else? So it's all down to the human brain, like I said.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I believe that it just about the I think was episode 2 or 3 was I had a conversation with my friend who happened to be a creative artist. We are both artists. We studied same university, same level,
Oh,
same year, right?
nice.
And we talked about, and the conversation has given birth to like 10-part series that will be hosting by one of the leading site tech platform in
Oh,
Africa. So we'll be hosting that conversation every in the next 10 weeks. We're publishing
okay.
how AI, the soul in AI, is prompt equal to so or not? What's the soul of work when you prompt? How do you stand out as a creative?
Yeah.
Leveraging in the AI world. Then we talk about the lack of depth, the lack of that AI is a machine. It
Yeah.
lacks lived experiences. It lacks
Yes.
the emotion, and it lacks your own story. And
Yeah.
that is what would separate you from a prompt engineer. What separates an artist from his
Yeah.
engineer? And just like you also made mention, the analogy that you I gave, it's also uh the creative process. You paint, but the question is,
Yeah.
how do you appreciate your
Yeah.
your work? How do you talk about your work?
Yeah.
That is what AI will not give you. It is you
Yeah.
that you. So before you even
Yeah.
open your laptop to prompt, you have to have the creative knowledge in your head before
Yes.
you come to
Yes.
the yeah, before you use the tool to your advantage. I agree with you about
Yeah.
that. And that takes me to we've spoken about originality. Now let's speak on laziness in creativity. So
Okay.
now that everybody's a writer, I have to be honest with you. Yeah, gone are the days where you can say I am a writer, yeah, whatever. If you study prompt engineering, we talk about you are a certified prompt engineering, I guess,
Who me?
right? Am I right?
No.
Oh, okay. I saw in one of you. I think I saw. When I was digging, I saw maybe you took some courses on prompt engineering,
Nothing.
AI, whatever. Oh, no, I see. So now, do you think that AI is making creative generally? Let's not limit it to SaaS writer. Do you think that AI is making creatives lazy?
Okay. So, I mean, my perspective is I'm a creative at heart. So when I use AI and I'm not part of the process, like I just throw a prompt in and say, write me a blog post on blah 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 blah, and make it this, make it conversational, whatever. So when the output comes out and I'm not connected to it, like
Yeah,
if you ask me a question about it, I can't answer because it's not my work. I feel a disconnect. So as a
yeah,
creative, I'm not proud of that piece. I don't own it, you know. So I truly believe that true creatives, like I was talking about the true artists,
yeah.
right? So true creatives, true artists, true writers and editors who are passionate about their work, they would never get lazy. So if you're getting lazy, then you were never a true whatever.
Oh, great. I also agree with you on that. But before I let you go, one of the things we always do is we always create it like a playbook, and that forms an insight for people. So I think I read on your platform was I think, yeah, it was on your platform. There's this article, 5 SaaS content strategy frameworks,
Yes, yes,
for
yes.
2015,
Yeah,
2025 rather. So I want
yeah.
us to lay it out. Like,
Okay,
so what are the strategy frameworks, for
okay.
2015? That's, of course, that's the latest, will be the latest one. So
Yeah.
lay it out. Let's hear about it.
All right. So there are 5 content frameworks that
Content,
we
yes.
advise. Yeah, we advise our clients to go by. The first is when you map out the buyer's journey. So the buyer has this journey of awareness and consideration and then decision, right? So when you create content that serves each step of this journey, that is how you're serving the buyer's journey. So that is one framework that you can create a content strategy around. The second one is a pillar cluster model. So this is where you have one main high volume keyword that you're targeting, which is like, a very broad topic, and you talk about it, and then you connect it with all these smaller topics that are related to it, so they all link back to the pillar article. So that's the pillar cluster. You're creating clusters of topics. So this also shows Google and now AI that you know what you're talking about. You're not just you didn't just throw in one piece uh, about a certain topic and then you don't know anything much out of that about that topic. So that is a pillar cluster model. And then we have the 70-20-10 framework, where you create 70% of the content that you create is the core content that your audience values and wants to read. And then you have 20% of content that you create is slightly innovative, and it could be like, interviews with industry leaders, or a case study about a client that you work with or a customer that you had if you're a SaaS product owner. And 10% of the content that you create should be a set of riskier experiments where you kind of, showing a different side, a personality that you want your brand to be known for. So that is the 70-20-10 framework. Then you have two other frameworks. You have the problem solution framework, which, like the name says, you're talking to the audience about their problems and giving them solutions. And
Yeah.
then the last one is the hub and spoke model, where you have, again, it's similar to the pillar cluster model, but then over here you have like a core piece of content, and then you have different pieces of content in different formats. It could be videos and podcasts and everything connected to that topic. So that
Yeah.
is a hub and spoke model. So these are the
Wow.
different frameworks.
Thank you for giving us that framework. Because I read through it and I enjoyed. I actually saved the article, and
Ah,
I've gone through it because recently I've been developing some content. I've been developing for quite a number of my client. Quite because I work I do a bit of consulting. For
okay.
early stage startups.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
Yeah, I
Okay.
do a bit of consulting for them and try to, give them like content, build like a content roadmap for them. And
Ah,
then most especially the tech founders, I also they need to, tell their stories, because why you need to build a content flywheel for
yeah.
the organization itself. You as a founder too, you as the at least at the early stage,
Yeah.
you need to build the trust. You are the
Yes.
face of the organization. You are the one that
Yes.
investors will trust, right?
Yes.
Before investors, dip their hands into their vault to bring out money to give to you to say, okay, we trust in your products, go and build and look at it. They also investors also get to look at the founder is himself or
Correct.
herself.
Yes.
So you also need to build trust, and when you build stories, you get to build credibility, you get to build trust, and people get to see, transfer that trust to your product. But
Yes.
your product also has to be market fit, and
Yes.
also has a product that's really solid enough for people to adopt. So which is
Yes.
very, very important. You can't use one to override another. You have to
Yeah.
make sure that all ends are tightened, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you make sure
Yes.
that everything, so that if you look at this end, this is sorted. If you look at this end, this is sorted, and you have a whole ecosystem around your product, your organization, and you as a founder. So it's very important, most especially storytelling and all. It's very important that personal branding, like I said,
Yes.
is very
Yes.
important for them.
Yeah.
uh you know that, just like I said, it's gonna be a chat. It's been a chat. Has it been like an interview so far?
Yeah.
It's
It's
been
been fun. Yeah.
yeah, it's been fun. It's been an engaging moment. But before I let you go, I would also like to, maybe you can get to share some of the lessons, the difficult moments from your journey as a founder of a SaaS company, and some of the challenges in that you faced in the
Yeah.
SaaS industry, content marketing for SaaS industry. What have been some of these challenges you faced overall in that industry? And how have you been
Okay.
able to really beat these challenges? And what has been what things that kept you going?
So, as a freelancer, I've especially entering the global market, it's not been easy. because sometimes people kind of look at you only for the country that you live in, and the
Yeah.
currency that you earn in. So that has been
Yeah.
a huge challenge, kind of getting them to trust that you can handle the work. Maybe you're not going to charge as much as people would in their country, but you're still going to charge a premium price for the work that you're going to deliver, because it is global quality work.
Yeah.
So that has been a challenge. I've met quite a few clients who had a lot to say, negative things to say, but then it's a challenge to hear all that, and still uh, that coupled with your imposter syndrome, like you were talking, kind of
Yeah.
battle it out and say, no, I can still do this. I'm not what someone else says that I am. And the other challenge that I had was, so when I first took on this project that got me into building the agency, right? This client
Yeah.
who approached me, uh, I went at it for 1 month. So 1 month I tried to work with freelancers, and I had no connections. I was not active on LinkedIn. So I just
Wow.
started making connections on LinkedIn, and I had to find writers, and I had to
Yeah.
edit their work, and make it up to my standard that I can submit to the client. And it was crazy because we were doing we started with about 12 pieces a month, and then we slowly grew to
Wow.
20, and then 30, and then 35 and
A
45,
month.
and
Wow.
yeah, a month. So that first month I was doing, I think, just 12, or we scaled to 20. And the first month I had a call with the head of organic growth for that company, and he was a really nice person. So he's the one who approached me when I was a freelancer, asking me
Oh,
to
okay.
take this project. So I owe a lot to him. So he approached me, and then I mean, he called me. I was supposed to have a call with him, and I could not turn on my camera because I was so I was so broken. Like I was beat, and I said, sorry, I can't turn on my camera, but I think you picked the wrong person. I don't think I can do this.
That's the imposter syndrome speaking through
So
you.
hit bad, yeah. So after a month, I just said, I can't do this. I have never been a leader. I've never led a team. I don't think I can do this. So please find someone else. I'll wrap up whatever is pending on my end, and then you can go find someone else. But then he was patient with me. He was kind. He said, no,
Yeah.
these things happen. You will fall down. You have to pick yourself up, dust yourself,
Yeah.
and get back. And he kind of encouraged me. And other people on his team called me after that and encouraged me as well, and
Oh,
I owe a lot to them. So then I said, okay, fine. What's the worst that could happen? Let me give this another shot. And then here I am, almost 2 years later, working with them, and it's been really great.
wow.
So yeah, so
Oh, that's
people,
interesting. So,
it's
yeah.
yeah, you can't do it alone.
Yeah. So, what has been your lessons of leadership?
Leadership, always put everyone else before you. That is something that I really learned, because unless people see you practicing what you preach,
Yeah.
you may not preach things openly to them. Like I may not have a call and say, today I'm going to talk about the philosophies of our company, and nothing like that. So we
Yeah.
have next to zero meetings in our company. So I trust everyone with their work, and they just get on with their work and their day. So but they're watching you. So they're watching what you're doing. They're watching
Yeah.
how you treat them. They're watching how you
Sure.
treat the client. They're watching. They listening to every word that you speak. And
Yeah.
so it is so important to set that example for you know how you would want them to be as well.
Yeah.
And that kind of builds trust, and that trust goes a long way.
Yeah. Actually, trust goes a long way. I mean,
Yeah,
they start. I still believe that you still have. They have you on the that client. I still have you on retainer, right?
yeah, yeah, they
You
do.
still work
Yeah,
with them.
yeah, I still
You,
work with them. Yeah,
you still take their money.
yeah.
you
Yeah,
still,
you could say
you
that.
still
Yeah,
take them, but cheers to
yeah,
them actually, and cheers to that person who placed the bet on you,
yeah,
who despite the imposter syndrome, despite
yeah,
the doubts that you had, who still stuck his head that what it trusted you,
yeah,
trusted in your ability, and say
yeah,
you can do it for me.
yeah,
Cheers to that person. We don't know.
yeah,
I don't know who you are. I don't know where you are, but wherever you are, or whoever you are, thank you for placing bet
Yes.
on Priyanka. And I mean, look at the story so far now.
Yeah.
You have an employer of labor. You have people working for you. You
Yeah.
commission people globally. You contribute to the economy, global
Yeah.
economy, and you're making impact. Telling the brand stories and
Yeah.
helping them with their deadlines, converting. It's a lot of because sometimes we don't often. Sometimes we don't look at the big picture of the impact that we make in the world,
True.
right? It's just beyond the deliverables and beyond the money that you earn from it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the ripple effect and how far your work can go, I mean, you get to we get to appreciate the work that we do more, right?
Yes.
It's at this point that I would uh put draw the curtain of this conversation. I believe that we have a lot, we would have a lot to have conversation about, but sometimes maybe later on we can still have conversation around
Yeah. Sure.
some other topical areas and topical
Yeah.
issues, right?
Yeah.
Priyanka, thank you so much for coming, for bringing your voice to the table, for sharing your insights with our global community. And we cannot thank you enough for that because it's knowledge, right? And before you got here to share your insights, sleepless nights, you
Yeah.
had to burn the candles,
Yeah.
you had to fight different demons and battles,
Yeah.
and here you are, you're standing strong and you're coming to share your insights with the world, and the world is getting to drink from the ocean of your wisdom. So we cannot thank you enough for that. So thank you so much. And
It's been an honor.
guys, yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. It's an honor for us to host you on this platform, to have this conversation with you. So guys, that's the end of the conversation for this episode. Meet us at the next episode, and thank you so much for staying throughout the conversation. And please, before I go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to follow us across our platforms, engage with us, and share this content far and wide, and drop comments. So guys, until next episode, keep bubbling. Thank you.